Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're not just exploring the English language, we're really unlocking the vibrant, practical, and sometimes, delightful world of everyday English conversations.
Exactly.
Forget those rigid grammar rules. Our mission really is to give you a genuine shortcut to confidence, helping you understand not just what to say, but how to truly connect.
Precisely. We've spent a lot of time poring over a stack of incredibly rich sources, from authentic dialogues and real-world scenarios to some brilliant, almost playful practice strategies. Our goal here is to distill the most potent nuggets of knowledge, equipping you not just to understand English, but to, seamlessly integrate it into your daily life.
Right.
Prepare for some surprising facts, maybe some genuine aha moments, and definitely practical tools you can start using immediately.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Imagine navigating a new city, confidently ordering food, having, real chat with friends, or even just narrating your thoughts to yourself, all with a newfound fluency and joy. That sense of effortless communication is exactly our destination for this deep dive. Let's delve into it.
Let's do it.
So let's kick things off where English truly comes alive in those crucial everyday interactions. Our sources give us an incredible lens into a whole spectrum of common scenarios, revealing kind of the hidden codes of polite and effective communication.
And what's truly illuminating here, I think, is moving beyond what is explicitly said to understanding the subtlety of the flow, the unspoken rules, the nuanced politeness markers, the expected responses, all the stuff that transforms a basic exchange into a genuinely natural and, successful interaction.
The linguistic machinery beneath the surface, you could say.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Okay, so let's immerse ourselves in some specific settings. Imagine you're traveling, right? And your first stop is navigating hotel and dining experiences. Our sources highlighted the sheer power of what we might call preemptive politeness and proactive specificity in these situations.
Oh, definitely. Take the hotel example from our sources. A guest starts by saying, "The staff is very polite and our room is lovely." Now, this isn't just a casual observation, is it?
No, it feels strategic.
It is strategic. By offering a compliment right off the bat, you immediately create a positive rapport.
Yeah.
You're subtly encouraging the staff to be even more helpful. Then, when requesting recommendations, the guests show that proactive specificity you mentioned.
Right, not just a good restaurant.
Exactly. They detail preferences: vegetarian, fish, many vegetables, and even the specific need for both spicy versus non-spicy options. This level of precision, it dramatically increases the chances of getting a truly tailored recommendation.
And it cuts down on that back and forth, which can be tricky if you're, still getting comfortable with the language.
Precisely. It saves time and potential misunderstandings, especially in a new environment.
And this clarity, this emphasis on it, it extends to making reservations too, doesn't it? The dialogue showed how easily the hotel staff could offer to book that specific Japanese restaurant because they'd absorbed those needs. Rice and fish, lots of vegetables, spicy and non-spicy.
It's a testament to being specific right from the start. And notice, too, how the guests combined requests, asking about the restaurant and arranging transport, the taxi pickup at noon.
Yeah, that multitasking of requests. It feels very efficient, very native-like in service interactions.
Then, once you're actually seated at the restaurant, that linguistic dance continues. We learn the basics, straightforward, a table for two, sure.
Standard phrase.
But we also see that subtle grace of complimenting the place. Your restaurant is very lovely, the decorations are beautiful. Again, it's that polite recognition setting a hospitable tone.
And even ordering something simple like a pot of green tea, the sources show it done concisely, clearly, minimizing ambiguity.
Directness in dining seems key. Then comes the main event, ordering food, maybe customizing things. And here, our sources reveal this art of subtle choice and polite inquiry.
Yeah, like the person ordering the daily special, and then that slightly funny moment where it turns out the special is the salmon the other person wanted anyway.
Yeah. It shows how even common menu terms can have these little conversational twists. And then the practical questions kick in. Does it come with a soup or salad?
Followed by the clear choice, a side salad, and specifying the dressing, house dressing. That specificity again.
And importantly, the polite decline. When asked about adding another salad, a simple no thank you is perfectly sufficient. It's gracious, it's clear.
These small, well-placed phrases, they really are the bedrock of confident dining, aren't they?
Absolutely. Now, moving from the dining table to, let's say, the world of commerce. Our sources provide a kind of masterclass in navigating retail and financial interactions. This is where precise questions and clear articulation really become paramount.
Totally. Think about a bookstore or a library. It's not just finding a book, it's asking for specific sections, adventure section, fiction, mystery fiction. It shows you know how to navigate the space, linguistically speaking.
Right.
But here's where it gets really useful for a learner: seeking recommendations. The sources show people asking for action books or books about pirates or wizards or even just short books, specific genres and types.
And the comparison aspect is fascinating. When Sherlock Holmes is suggested but then dismissed as maybe not too interesting compared to Agatha Christie, who wrote more than 50 mystery novels and is very popular,
Yeah.
that conversation highlights how native speakers articulate preferences, make comparisons, justify their choices.
Yeah.
That's a key conversational skill right there.
And we also get that really relatable moment where someone asks for help and the person they ask turns out not to work there.
Oh yeah, the person who just loves bookstores.
Exactly. It's a perfect example of those unexpected organic interactions. It reminds you that English conversations aren't always predictable or formal.
And in the library setting, it's all very practical. The process of checking out a book, needing your library card, understanding the return dates expressed simply as in 3 weeks. It shows that functional, direct language of everyday services.
Okay, next up, a daily ritual for so many people: the coffee shop order. Our sources teach us the precise language for specific drinks: extra large iced coffee, medium iced vanilla latte, specifying for takeout.
But it goes deeper, doesn't it? Into what you might call customer-centric customization, especially around milk options.
Oh yeah, the whole list. Regular milk, skim milk, fat-free milk, almond milk, soy milk, and oat milk. It covers everything.
And the practical advice embedded in that. For someone trying to lose weight, the suggestion is skim milk or fat-free milk.
Right. And the skill of ordering for multiple people, specifying different things: skim milk for you, regular milk for your colleague. That shows clarity in a slightly more complex order.
And this practical focus, it carries through to payment and loyalty programs too. The dialogue teaches asking for the total after taxes, specifying payment by credit card.
And that modern touch, adding loyalty points, using a phone number if you don't have the physical card. These are small, yes, but very functional linguistic details that just make transactions smoother. They reflect how we actually communicate in retail today.
Definitely. And for those essential financial interactions, banking. Our sources demystify that too. The material walks you through asking to deposit a check, needing your bank card, entering a PIN,
Standard procedure.
and understand the teller's role in entering information. Plus, learning the direct way to ask for your account balance and getting it on a receipt. It covers those fundamental banking needs with concise, clear English.
Okay, let's pivot slightly to a more domestic setting, but one equally rich in conversation: grocery shopping. Often a family thing, right?
The family expedition, exactly. The sources vividly illustrate that structured shopping right from the start, following a shopping list, starting the produce section. It reflects how planning gets verbalized.
And when it comes to specific items, there's a focus on quantity and, well, strategy. Buying carrots, onions, broccoli, cabbage, mushrooms.
And that wonderful example of cost consciousness. Choosing 10 carrots for $3 instead of 5 for $2.
Good deal.
Right. And the pragmatic recall of what you already have. Oh, wait, we still have 4 oranges at home. This isn't just listing items. It's conversational English reflecting real-world problem solving, budgeting, planning.
And the scene adds those lovely little details like handling fragile goods. Be careful, Ben, the eggs are very fragile. Teaching adjectives of caution.
And the cheese decision, mozzarella, cheddar, or the mix, marble cheese. It's not just naming, it's discussing options, making choices together.
And you can't forget the humorous and very relatable inclusion of a chocolate bar as a reward for helping out.
Yes. It shows how everyday English naturally weaves in rewards, motivation, family dynamics. It feels very authentic.
So finally, in this section, we delve into movie theater decisions, which, let's be honest, are often a masterclass in negotiation and trying to express your preferences clearly.
Oh, absolutely. The dialogue highlights how different interests can clash. One person wants comedy, another wants romance and action. Maybe someone else likes action but hates romance. It's fertile ground for practicing compromise, expressing nuanced likes and dislikes. I like this, but not that.
And here's where it gets genuinely entertaining in the source material. The conversation takes this unexpected, frankly, hilarious turn.
The zombie romance.
The zombie romance. First, an animated movie is suggested, but dismissed. That's for kids. Someone wants something more mature. Okay, fair enough. Then the horror movie discussion starts. Sounds standard zombies, a lot of action. But then comes the twist.
A little bit of romance.
Specifically between a man and a zombie. That detail. It just makes the interaction so memorable.
It really does. And it shows how humor and the unexpected are so deeply embedded in natural English dialogue. You have to be ready to adapt, react, maybe laugh along. It's not always serious business.
Exactly. So that covers a lot of ground in terms of specific scenarios. Okay, let's zoom in now on a topic that I think profoundly impacts our ability to engage with the world, and that includes speaking English, our daily routines.
Yes.
Our sources offer this fantastic, contrasting deep dive into two very distinct daily lives. We've got Ryan's chaotic existence versus Christine's much more optimized day.
And this really raises a crucial question for anyone mastering English, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do our routines, particularly their structure, the energy they give us or take away, how do they directly influence our capacity to learn, practice, and confidently use a new language?
Right. It's not just about personal well-being, is it?
No, the stark contrast here is almost like a blueprint for effective learning habits versus, well, habits that hinder learning.
Let's break down Ryan's day first. The sources describe it perfectly as overwhelmed and hectic. His mornings are just a textbook example of this cycle of tiredness.
The alarm goes off at 6 a.m., but he's too tired. Hit snooze until after 7 a.m.
We've all been there sometimes.
Maybe. But for him, it seems chronic. And it stems from those late nights. Out with friends at 10 p.m., getting home after midnight, then zoning out with video games or social media until 2 a.m.
So he's starting his day already in deficit.
Exactly, which immediately sets the stage for linguistic struggle. A tired brain is just not an absorbent brain, right? It's hard to focus, hard to retain new information.
And that exhaustion, it clearly manifests as this constant morning rush. The second he's up, it's straight to dog duties, potty break, throwing the ball. By 7:30, he still hasn't eaten, brushed his teeth, or gotten dressed.
Which forces him to literally run for the bus. He describes it as a 5-minute walk if I walk fast, just to get to work by 8:45. That scramble isn't just inefficient, it's a kind of linguistic stress test. You're forced into hurried, maybe incomplete communication. There's very little mental space left for thoughtful English expression.
And his habits throughout the rest of the day, they paint a pretty consistent picture, don't they? Skipping breakfast, grabbing a candy bar or a soda before work.
Lunch is fast food with some friends. After work, it's straight into computer games for a few hours. Dinner is often pizza or fast food. Then TV till 10 p.m. and then
Hit the bar again. The language used grabbing, hitting, playing, it feels very reactive, not proactive.
exactly. And the cumulative impact is clear. Mid-morning tiredness, feeling constantly overwhelmed, and admitting he's addicted to his phone. This isn't just a personal story. It describes an environment that's really hostile to focused learning.
Okay, so now let's look at the flip side. Christine's optimized and hydrated routine. It feels like a masterclass in intentional living.
It really does. She mindfully wakes at 6 a.m., immediately drinks a big glass of water. Now, that's not just about physical hydration, is it? It's almost a symbol of conscious choice.
A linguistic reset for the day, perhaps. Preparing the mind for clarity.
I like that. Preparing for clarity and focus, which are absolutely essential for language acquisition. Her mornings are then structured with dedicated physical activity. She makes time, 30 minutes, for running, doing yoga, or lifting weights.
And that deliberate action, it's not just physical health. It invigorates the mind, right? Makes it more receptive.
Absolutely. After her workout, it's streamlined. Shower, get dressed, makeup, then a light breakfast of oatmeal or eggs by 8 a.m. The precision in her schedule, articulated with direct verbs and time markers, it's actually a great model for how to discuss personal planning in English.
Her healthy choices continue all day. She proactively packs a salad or sandwich for her lunch. She chooses an active commute, riding her bike about 20 minutes, noting it beats the traffic.
Her workday sounds productive. Catch up on emails, check her calendar, work through the morning. The language emphasizes action, efficiency, and she makes that conscious choice to eat her packed lunch outside, integrating mindful breaks.
And her evening routine, it just solidifies this pattern of intention. Often leaves work early, maybe stops for fresh food for dinner. Evenings include hanging out with friends sometimes, or watching TV or reading, cooking and eating dinner around 7 p.m.
And crucially, she winds down before going to bed at 10:00. That consistent wind-down period, described with calm verbs, prepares her for rest.
The impact. She's able to fall asleep early because she's genuinely tired from exercise and consistently feels good and productive. This whole narrative, it's just packed with useful vocabulary for discussing well-being, time management, healthy living, invaluable stuff for any English learner.
Definitely. And the contrast really comes to a head in Christine's advice to Ryan. It offers this powerful transformation narrative.
Yeah, she gently suggests he go to bed earlier, aim for before midnight for 2+ hours more sleep. Offers alternatives to hitting the bar every night, like meeting friends after work or on weekends.
And the advice to eat a healthy breakfast, skip the candy and soda, pack his lunch. It's not just about diet, is it? It's about reclaiming agency over his day, making conscious choices.
And what's really key here for language learners, I think, is Christine's recommendation to change one step at a time to avoid burnout.
Yes, that's such a crucial strategic insight. It mirrors exactly how sustainable language acquisition works. You can't overhaul everything overnight. Small, consistent steps.
And Ryan's immediate, enthusiastic response, I feel better already. It just underscores the psychological power of even thinking about positive change. It's a beautiful little example of how conversation in English can inspire and maybe even facilitate personal shifts.
It really is.
Okay, so we've journeyed through English and its everyday practical applications, loads of examples there. But here's where we genuinely try to elevate our understanding. How do you transform those essential exchanges into truly natural, engaging, and, well, meaningful conversations?
Right.
Our sources illuminate some fantastic techniques and, crucially, the vocabulary that unlocks that deeper dialogue.
And this brings up a critical question, doesn't it? How do you move beyond just conveying information to actually connecting with others, expressing complex thoughts, emotions with nuance, with authenticity?
It's not just dictionary definitions.
No. It's about understanding the strategic impact of your word choices and how they shape the entire interaction. It's about the why behind the what.
Okay, so let's dissect some specific words that can dramatically elevate your conversations. Moving them from, basic comprehension towards something more like native fluency. Our sources highlighted a brilliant set of intermediate vocabulary you'll hear and use all the time.
Let's start with hectic. Now, this isn't just a simple synonym for busy. It carries a significant emotional undertone, stress, pressure, feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed by activity.
Right, it's got more weight.
Exactly. Mastering hectic allows you to convey not just how much you're doing, but how you feel about it. So instead of just, my morning was busy, saying, my morning was so hectic, I had 3 meetings, answered dozens of emails, that instantly communicates the pressure involved.
We saw it with Jennifer's months of hectic apartment hunting.
And Ryan's description of his mornings. It's a nuanced word that adds empathy and depth when you're describing daily life.
Okay, next up, coincidence. This word captures that delightful, unplanned convergence of events. When two things happen at the same time, purely by chance, not by design.
It's perfect for those moments of surprise, isn't it? Like, what a coincidence. I was just thinking about calling you when your message arrived.
Or it was such a coincidence running into my old teacher at the coffee shop. That kind of thing.
And in the Jennifer apartment story, her forgetting her lunch, which led to meeting Lisa and finding that dream apartment that was precisely it. A coincidence that changed everything for her.
It adds a touch of wonder, maybe narrative flair to unexpected positive events.
Definitely. Then there's overwhelmed, a word that I think resonates deeply in modern life. It describes that feeling of having just too much to handle tasks, emotions, information.
Feeling swamped.
Exactly. Using overwhelmed lets you articulate that state of mental or emotional saturation. You might say, I felt completely overwhelmed on my first day at the new job.
With so much information to absorb.
Yeah.
Or she was overwhelmed by all the birthday wishes and gifts.
And we heard Jennifer felt completely overwhelmed about the whole apartment situation, and Ryan used it for his mornings. It's a powerful word for expressing being swamped, making your internal state clear to your listener.
Moving on to subtle. This one's all about nuance, isn't it? Requires a keen ear, maybe a keen eye, too. It refers to something not obvious, not direct, but requires attention to notice.
It's about the unspoken, the understated, like there was a subtle change in her tone when she mentioned her ex-boyfriend. What does that imply?
Right, it suggests lingering feelings, perhaps, or the subtle lighting in the restaurant created such a romantic atmosphere. It's not bright, it's subtle.
And our sources show Emma noticing subtle changes in Jake's behavior, him declining invitations more often. That was a clue.
And Jake himself spoke of a subtle but real shame about his financial difficulties. It highlights the importance of picking up on and maybe articulating those small, significant details that often say more than direct statements.
Our fifth word is reluctant. This describes that feeling of hesitation, maybe unwillingness to do something, often because of doubts or concerns.
Holding back.
Yeah, holding back. It's crucial for describing internal conflict or discomfort. Like, Tom was reluctant to try the new restaurant because he'd heard mixed reviews.
Or she was reluctant to share her idea during the meeting, maybe fearing criticism.
And in the birthday story, Jake was initially reluctant about the restaurant choice. And Emma, interestingly, admitted she was also a bit reluctant about that restaurant, too.
And Jake was also reluctant to have this conversation about money in the first place. It perfectly captures that very human tendency to hold back when things feel awkward or difficult.
Mm-hmm. And finally, a word that's really critical for effective, respectful communication. Assertive.
Ah, yes. Important distinction here.
Crucial. It describes being confident and direct in expressing your opinions or needs.
Like, Maria was assertive during the negotiation, clearly stating her terms while maintaining a respectful tone.
Exactly. Or, his assertive response to the criticism showed he stood firm in his work. He defended it.
And in the birthday story, Emma was assertive about celebrating this milestone properly by booking that fancy place initially.
Right. And later, she was assertive with the restaurant to move the reservation when their plans changed. She also encouraged Jake to be more assertive about these things in the future.
And Jake, in turn, decided he needed to be assertive about explaining that it was my decision to change the venue, taking ownership.
And the sources draw this beautiful conclusion. Being assertive about difficult topics actually brings people closer together. It highlights its power not just in getting things done, but in building stronger, more honest relationships.
So knowing the words is one thing, but it's not just about knowing them, is it? It's about how you strategically deploy them to create these natural, empathetic conversations. And our sources give us two incredible dialogues that really serve as masterclasses in, well, chatting like a native.
This is where we apply that critical thinking, right? To discern the linguistic architecture of effective interaction. We're looking at the underlying dynamics, psychological, relational, so what of the exchange? How deliberate word choices and conversational strategies impact rapport and understanding.
Okay, let's dive into the Jennifer apartment story first. It's such a brilliant illustration of storytelling and active listening working together. This wasn't just Sarah giving a factual update like, Jennifer found an apartment.
No, it was much richer.
She painted the whole scene, the specific cafe, Jennifer's emotional state overwhelmed after that hectic search, and then the pivotal coincidence, forgetting lunch, meeting Lisa, finding the dream apartment.
Complete with details. Balcony, within budget, 2 blocks from the office, furniture offered.
That rich, descriptive detail, the emotional arc, that's what elevates a simple update into an engaging story. It lets the listener really visualize it, connect with it.
Mm-hmm. And David's role in that conversation exemplifies sophisticated active listening. He wasn't just passively receiving information.
No, he was part of it.
He actively co-created the narrative space. His interjections of, oh, this sounds like it's going somewhere interesting, or that's amazing.
Yeah.
They aren't just polite filler.
They feel like linguistic encouragers.
That's a great term for it. They signal deep engagement. They prompt the storyteller to keep going. They affirm the value of the story. This kind of back and forth builds a dynamic, really satisfying conversational rhythm.
And what's really insightful, I think, is the emotional journey in that exchange and how it invites critical thinking. The conversation starts with both Sarah and David complaining about their own hectic weeks, a shared point of frustration.
Yeah, they connect over that initially.
But Jennifer's story, framed with that word coincidence, it shifts the whole tone towards hope, possibility. And then David applies it to his own situation, musing, maybe something good will come out of all this chaos in his own busy week.
It shows how shared narratives, especially ones about overcoming challenges, can genuinely inspire people and reshape their perspective. It allows for deeper, more empathetic connections than just complaining together.
Exactly. So that conversation, it operated on multiple levels. Surface level, colleagues chatting, sharing news. Deeper level, mutual support, sharing an inspiring story, finding hope in relatable experiences. Mastering that ability to engage with both levels is really a hallmark of fluency, isn't it? Moving beyond just translation to genuine understanding and connection.
Absolutely. It's about reading the whole situation.
Okay, now let's turn to the other example. The birthday dinner dilemma. This felt like a powerful case study in handling sensitive topics and collaborative problem solving within a close friendship. It's realistic, showing how we navigate awkward situations while trying to preserve the relationship.
What's immediately striking there is that initial reluctance of difficult conversations. Jake was reluctant to mention his pay cut. He was subtle about it with Emma at first.
Which is so human, right? People often use hedging language or avoid direct confrontation when they feel vulnerable.
Exactly. And for an English learner, recognizing those subtle cues, understanding the reluctance behind the words, is just as important as the words themselves. It's about tuning into that unspoken emotional context.
But then Emma's power of observation shifts the dynamic. She noticed that Jake was declining invitations more often, that subtle behavioral cue. And when Jake finally did open up, Emma didn't just listen. She validated his feelings by acknowledging her observation, saying something like, "I noticed you seemed a bit off lately." That act of affirmation expressed directly, it built trust. It signaled she genuinely cared, creating a safe space for him.
Which leads directly to overcoming assumptions, a really common conversational pitfall. Both Jake and Emma were actually reluctant about that fancy restaurant choice.
But they both assumed the other wanted it, the danger of unspoken preferences.
Precisely. It was only through open and, importantly, assertive communication that they revealed their shared desire for something more personal and relaxed, which led to the lovely idea of a home-cooked meal at Emma's, complete with tiramisu.
It teaches such a vital linguistic and relational lesson. Clarify, don't assume, especially when discussing plans or feelings. Just ask.
Right. And the conversation then beautifully showcases assertive communication in friendship. Emma was assertive about finding a solution that genuinely worked for everyone, making sure Jake didn't feel guilty or pressured.
And Jake, in turn, decided he needed to be assertive and honest with the larger group about his financial situation. He believed that transparency could actually help everyone feel more comfortable.
It shows how assertiveness, when it comes from a place of care and honesty, really strengthens bonds instead of creating conflict. It's not about being demanding, it's about being clear and respectful of yourself and others.
And the emotional depth of that exchange is remarkable. It moved from just surface-level party planning to this deep exploration of friendship values, honesty, vulnerability, supporting each other through financial challenges.
And that key takeaway, powerfully put in our sources, being assertive about difficult topics actually brings people closer together. This isn't just about learning vocabulary. It's about using English to forge deeper, more authentic human connections, which ultimately is the goal of fluency for many people, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's the whole point.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've absorbed all this rich insight. We've got new vocabulary. We've seen these brilliant conversations in action. But what does this all mean for you, our curious listener, right now? How do you bridge that gap between knowing this stuff and truly doing it? Well, our sources reveal some incredibly fun, surprisingly effective, and sometimes delightfully silly ways to integrate English practice into your daily rhythm.
And this raises a profoundly important question, I think. How can we transform language learning from something that feels like a chore?
Yeah, another thing on the to-do list.
Into an integrated, enjoyable, and importantly, sustainable part of our daily lives? The answer seems to lie in consistent, low-stress engagement. Leveraging the power of identity-based habits. I am someone who practices English daily. Rather than just goal-based resolutions, I must study for an hour.
Okay, let's start by acknowledging a common pitfall. Remember Ali from the sources? The guy who bought the massive grammar book swore he'd study an hour every single day.
And then it became a very expensive coffee cup holder.
Exactly. We've all been there, haven't we? We make these grand, ambitious promises and they just fizzle out because the commitment feels too huge, too overwhelming.
And what's fascinating from a cognitive perspective is that our brains actually resist those big promises.
Yeah.
They thrive on small, consistent habits, like the 2 minutes you spend brushing your teeth every day. It's not a massive effort, but done consistently.
It makes a huge difference.
Exactly. At that consistent, almost automatic, minimal effort that leads to profound, sustainable progress and retention. It fosters a sense of naturalness, not obligation.
Which brings us neatly to exercise 1. 1 word a day. It sounds deceptively simple, but it's incredibly powerful. The method is just so straightforward. Every morning, pick one new English word. Just one.
And your mission for that day?
Use it at least 5 times. Out loud or in your head. Just use it.
Let's make that tangible. Say your word for the day is curious.
Okay.
You can find yourself thinking or saying, I'm curious what's for lunch today. Or maybe looking at your pet, I'm curious why my cat is staring at the wall like that.
Haha, yeah. Or at work, I'm curious if my boss actually reads my emails or just skims them.
Right. And the profound benefit here is you don't just memorize a definition. You actively live the word. You integrate it into your natural thought patterns, your daily interactions. It transforms from passive knowledge into active, readily available vocabulary. You're building that neural pathway for immediate recall.
Simple, but effective. Okay, here's where it gets truly transformative, maybe a little quirky. Let's talk about Maria again, from the sources narrating her cooking. Okay, Maria, let's cook pasta today. First, boil water. Now add salt. Don't burn your fingers, Maria.
It sounds funny, but this highlights a crucial, often overlooked point. The immense value of practicing in real situations with zero judgment.
Ah, the zero judgment part is key.
Absolutely. When you engage in self-talk, there's no pressure to perform, no fear of making mistakes in front of others, no external scrutiny. It creates this uninhibited, perfect environment for linguistic experimentation and organic growth.
Sure.
You're connecting language directly to your immediate sensory experience.
So exercise 2 is your secret weapon, talking to yourself. The method. Pick any simple daily activity, cooking, cleaning, walking, grocery shopping, whatever, and narrate it in English, out loud.
Imagine you're at the sink doing the dishes. You might articulate, okay, I'm washing the dishes now. The water's too hot. Need to adjust it. Oops, drop the spoon. Oh no, now the soap is everywhere.
It's not exactly Shakespeare.
No, but it's real. It's functional. And it is precisely this realness, the active, immediate connection between your thoughts, your actions, and the language that truly builds fluency. You're constantly verbalizing your immediate environment and actions.
Okay, this next one, exercise 3, might sound a little childish, but trust me, the sources suggest it's incredibly effective for unlocking creativity in English. It's the 5-minute story game.
Intriguing.
Imagine you've got just 5 minutes before bed. Instead of scrolling, you do this quick, creative burst of linguistic gymnastics.
Okay, how does it work?
Elegantly simple method. Pick 3 random words, let's say dog, pizza, and rain.
Okay, dog, pizza, rain.
Got it. Your task. Tell a short, coherent story using all 3 words. This forces your brain to make spontaneous connections, retrieve vocabulary on the fly, construct a narrative, core skills for fluid conversation.
So for dog, pizza, rain, you might come up with
Something like, my dog was staring intently at me while I ate my delicious pizza. Suddenly, the sky opened up and it started raining heavily. The dog barked, I dropped the pizza in surprise, and we both ran inside to escape the downpour.
simple. Maybe a bit silly, but I see how it works. It forces you to link things.
Exactly. And the bonus challenge, record yourself telling the story, then listen back. Sure, you'll catch mistakes, maybe cringe a little.
Probably.
But more importantly, you'll experience the genuine fun and growing confidence of hearing yourself actively creating something in English, speaking spontaneously.
Building on that imaginative practice, exercise 4 is role play with imaginary friends. Or maybe just imaginary scenarios.
Right. The method involves spending just 3 minutes a day acting out a common scene. Pretend you're in a cafe placing an order, or buying movie tickets, or asking for directions.
And the key is...
You play both roles. Be the customer and the waiter, the tourist and the helpful local.
Ah, okay. So if I'm the waiter, good afternoon, what would you like to drink today?
And then you switch. I'll have a cappuccino, please.
Back to waiter mode. Certainly, would you like sugar with that?
The benefit here is twofold. One, you'll probably find yourself laughing at yourself, which makes practice fun. But more critically, you train your brain to respond fast to common conversational prompts. That rapid-fire mental exercise, totally free of external pressure, makes real-life interactions feel much smoother, more automatic.
I can see that. Less freezing up in the moment.
Exactly. Okay, subsection 3.3. Fun and immersion techniques. Sometimes the most effective practice needs to embrace a bit of silliness. This is where tongue twisters and fun challenges come in.
Ah, the classics.
Yeah.
The method is straightforward. Try reciting phrases like, she sells seashells by the seashore.
Or the dreaded red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Try saying that 5 times fast.
The benefit, beyond the inherent amusement, is actually profoundly practical. Your mouth, muscles, tongue, lips, jaws, they get accustomed to the unique sounds, the rhythms, the specific articulation patterns of English. It improves pronunciation and clarity. It's like physical training for your speech organs.
And for a truly memorable, if potentially messy, bonus challenge from the sources, try saying them while brushing your teeth.
Oh dear. Expect toothpaste explosions, as the source warned.
It's all about making practice unconventional, enjoyable, maybe even slightly ridiculous, embedding it in daily habits.
Okay, and finally, let's not forget the incredible array of English resources just surrounding us constantly. YouTube, podcasts, books, movies. We're swimming in content.
But here's the crucial distinction, the trick. Don't just passively consume it.
Right. This raises that important question. How do you strategically transform passive listening or watching into active fluency building practice? How do you engage with it?
The method involves active participation that forces you to interact.
Yeah.
So when watching Netflix, maybe pause after one sentence that catches your ear. Repeat it out loud. Try to match the intonation, the rhythm.
Or on YouTube, actively try to copy the accent or delivery style of your favorite creator for a minute or two. Experiment with different vocal patterns. See how it feels.
With books, maybe dedicate just one page to reading aloud every night. It's not about achieving perfect grammar instantly. It's about internalizing the rhythm, sound, and confidence of authentic English speech, absorbing the natural flow.
It's about getting the music of the language into your system.
Exactly. The music.
So if we try and, connect all these threads back to the bigger picture, what we've explored today, I think, reveals a really profound truth about English fluency.
Yeah.
It's not some distant, unattainable peak you suddenly just arrive at one day. It's much more of a personal journey, isn't it? Meticulously built on these consistent, deliberate, and often, as we've seen, delightfully small steps.
Right. From deciphering the nuance and politeness routines to mastering impactful words like hectic or assertive.
Right. Every single interaction, every playful practice session, it adds immeasurable value.
That's so right. From skillfully navigating those hotel check-ins and confidently placing coffee orders to integrating that powerful vocabulary into your natural speech, even the surprisingly effective act of talking to yourself like Maria. Every tiny interaction, every moment of playful practice, it truly adds up. It's fundamentally about building that unwavering confidence, discovering and refining your authentic voice in English, and, crucially, genuinely enjoying the ride, enjoying the process.
And this brings up perhaps an important final question for you, our dedicated listener, to really ponder, beyond just acquiring words and phrases. How does gaining genuine confidence in English empower you to express a deeper, more authentic version of yourself to the world?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What new ideas, what connections, what personal truths will you be able to share once that language barrier feels truly lifted? What parts of you can emerge?
So here's our final actionable challenge for you. Starting today, not tomorrow, today. Pick just one exercise from this deep dive. Maybe it's the 1 word a day challenge. Maybe it's narrating your dishwashing routine tonight.
We're trying one of those silly tongue twisters.
Exactly. Try it. Genuinely immerse yourself for just a few minutes, and then tomorrow pick another one, or stick with the same one if it resonates. Keep that momentum going, because every day, consistent practice doesn't just make you better at English in some abstract way. It profoundly empowers you to become perfectly, wonderfully you, but in English.
Well said.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep diving deep.